the latest in terms of the bubble situation all around. Pitt, you find themselves on last four byes. They got a win today. They move on to face Duke. We're about to see NC State play. They're in last four byes. They're the 7th seed in that tournament. You see North Carolina first four out right now, and we'll see if they can move up. Obviously, win over UVA, a quad one win would really help them. Starting tomorrow, in about just over 9 minutes, we're going to see Terquavion Smith, all ACC player. That is speed.
That guy with the ball in his hands.
Bucket getters. Woo! Taking on Virginia Tech here in a minute. When you look at this game somewhat quickly, Virginia Tech against NC State, what do you see tonight?
NC State's backcourt, I love him. Terquavion Smith is a baller. He's the college Lou Williams. He is a bucket. Jarkel Joyner has been right there with him in terms of their quality of play. Virginia Tech has got to handle those two kids.
I think it's the DJ Burns-Grant Basile matchup. Grant pulls them outside. DJ Burns is so good inside. If there's one guy that has been completely underrated, not only in the ACC, but through the conference season in the country, it's DJ Burns. Yeah. I mean, it just is. He's hard to guard, but he's also got to step outside and be able to defend on the perimeter as well.
You've seen them go through him at times and win games. I mean, the Wake Forest game, the first one comes to mind on the road, had 31, 23 in the second half. They rode him. Basile was good last game. He's got almost 21 a game over the last 9. Coach likes that matchup. Game when we come back.
The last spot in the quarterfinals up for grabs in Greensboro. The defending tournament champs from Virginia Tech are full of experience and will not back down to any opponent in the path to defend their title. Kevin Keats and ACC Blue Blood NC State stand in the way. Losers of 4-7. The Pack looking to bounce back here in the ACC tournament. We welcome you to ESPN Champ Week, presented by Principal. And from Greensboro, it's the New York Life ACC Tournament. The 11th seed, Virginia Tech. They know what it takes to stun the field, taking on the 6th seed, NC State. And today here at the Coliseum, very busy day and evening. Wake Forest sent Jim Boeheim into retirement with a clutch 3 by David Williamson, 77-74. Pitt held off an upset bid by Georgia Tech in the late afternoon. Pitt stopping a mini losing skid. Good win for the Panthers. And tonight, a must win for North Carolina, besting Boston College as the 7th seed advances to the quarterfinals. So Wake Forest meeting top seed Miami tomorrow at noon. The number 4 seed Duke and Pitt will tangle at 2:30. Number 2 Virginia and Carolina squaring up at 7 in the last quarterfinal is Clemson against the winner of this one. Thanks for being with us. Late night, everybody. I'm Dave O'Brien, my partner, the great Jay Billis, the great Holly Rowe joining us as well. Do the Hokies have it in them to do it again, Jay?
They've got a team full of shot makers, especially Grant Basile. Over his last 12 games, he's averaging about 21 points per game. But I think Virginia Tech taking care of the ball is going to be really important in this game because NC State, they force about 8-9 steals a game, and that's the fuel they use to get their offense going. And they're a team that, you talk about shot making. Terquavion Smith, Jarkel Joyner, Casey Morsell, those guys can make shots. So it's going to be important for Virginia Tech to be solid defensively, stay in front, and make them run through your chest.
You know, it was a magic run for the Hokies last year. How much does that help them at this point right now?
Well, they had similar years last year. You know, they ran into a rough patch with some injuries. This year they were 11-1 before Hunter Couture went down with an injury. He's back now. He wasn't there for that first game against NC State. But to have their best defender, their best three-point shooter back in the lineup, I like this team. This Hokie team is formidable on the offensive end.
Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, there are 6 players back from that team that made that Cinderella run through this very tournament a year ago. So they know how to do it. They have the consistency, and they know what to expect. But their challenge is harder this year. Last year, they won 4 games in 4 days. This year, they would have to win 5 games in 5 days. But these guys are resilient. They're excited, and they know what it takes to rest and recover in between games. They'll have a tall task tonight, but they know what that magic ride will take. Let's see if they can get on it.
Mike Young's team 19-13 after beating Notre Dame 67-64 last night. Grant Basile was the star there as he had 20. Justin Mutz also had 18. Going to need more of that tonight against NC State. They're 22-9 Scuffling, though, as we mentioned down the stretch, dropping 4 of their last 7. So we are set to go. Clarence Armstrong, Ron Groover, Jamel Spearman, our officials as we're about to tip it off in the nightcap here inside the Coliseum. Virginia Tech, the 11 seed, NC State, number 6 here in the ACC tournament. And the Hokies win the opening tip.
Greg Gant starting off guarding Grant Basile. That puts a little more athleticism on him.
Couture launches the first 3, but short, and a high rebound tipped and controlled nicely by Smith. He'll launch and hit it. Boy, he was not waiting around.
Well, Terquavion Smith needed that one. His last 2 games, he's been 5 of 25 from the field, just 4 of 14 from 3-point range. So that's a good sign for NC State that Terquavion Smith's getting off to a good start.
That's how the night started for North Carolina against Boston College. Tough move inside for Mutz and a strike.
DJ Burns having to guard Justin Mutz with Gant on Basile, and that means that I think Mike Young is going to put DJ Burns in as many ball screens as he can to move him around the floor so they can attack him out on the perimeter.
Both of these teams take care of the ball really well. Burns getting in close. DJ Burns, the big grad at 6'9" out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Kevin Keats, 6th year. Led NC State to the school's most victories in a regular season since 1987-88. The foul will go against Mutz, number 1.
DJ Burns is a load inside. He's got a great touch and the feet of a ballerina with the way he can move those feet, making moves in the post. He transferred in from Winthrop, where he played for Pat Kelsey, who's now the head coach at Charleston. Just punched their ticket in the NCAA tournament. But he started his career at Tennessee. You know, people think, oh, he's a mid-major player transferred to NC State. No, he started at Tennessee.
Played well down the stretch. Honorable mention, all ACC this season. Padula with a strong move, but no. Smith with a rebound.
A good job by NC State to stay in front to make that a really tough 2 for Sean Padula.
NC State defeating Virginia Tech in their only meeting in Blacksburg, 73-69. But as mentioned, Hunter Couture did not play in that game. He was hurt at the time. Spin by Burns. And you're right, as far as that footwork, he just didn't finish it.
He can spin in the lane, and he's got such a soft touch.
Mutz with a kick out. Basile gives it up. Couture will drive it. No finish, though.
DJ Burns came over and bothered that shot.
Smith takes a bump, uses the window beautifully. Wanted a foul, too.
He created that contact. That was offense initiated, but you like the aggressiveness of Terquavion Smith to start this game. All ACC second team, as was his teammate Jarkel Joyner.
A lot of big games. 32 against FSU, 25 against Georgia Tech. He gets hot and he can get rolling. Mutz taking the paint, blocked by Burns. He was all over him.
Good recovery by DJ Burns. Boy, when he screens you stay screened for a while.
Joyner getting it inside for the quick strike by Gant. Not a big scorer.
And a great start for North Carolina State, getting the ball down court quickly. And if you can score quickly in transition, that's not going to go as a fast break basket, but it was early offense.
Score they can. 78 points a game, number 2 in the conference. Off the fake, Collins got a good look and all net.
MJ Collins with a really nice move there. The shot fake. Got Smith off the floor. And then the little pull-up jumper from the mid-range.
NC State bidding for win number 23. They dropped their last 2 regular season games to Clemson and Duke.
A good double team by Justin Mutz. Off the dribble by DJ Burns. When he spun right into Mutz.
Couture had such a spectacular tournament last year. Mutz, maybe one pass too many. He's a terrific passer, and at times maybe too unselfish, and that'll misfire by Smith.
Well, that was a heat check by Terquavion Smith. That was a logo shot. But Smith did a great job, help side defense, knocking that ball away. And NC State wants to get, their number is 40 deflections. If they get 40 deflections, they feel like they've been really active defensively.
NC State with a deflection. Joyner will lay it in.
That's what you cannot do, Dave, against North Carolina State. Padula took the ball, got it knocked away, and then all of a sudden you're watching NC State lay it in on the other end.
It's one thing we should not see a lot of in this game. Both of these teams do an excellent job of taking care of the ball. Collins again, but not this time.
A little bit too early. That was just on one side of the floor. Didn't make the defense move.
Wolfpack only turns it over about 10 times a game. Joyner feeling it and absolutely buried that one to make it 13-4.
Boy, this is a confident tandem of guards with Joyner and Smith. There is not a shot they feel like they cannot make.
Both of them averaging 17 a handful. Basile, yes, and one.
There's the passing. There's the passing at Justin Mutz. Leads them in assists, averaging close to 5 a game. That's 5th in the league as a forward.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. And Ameriprise Financial, advice worth talking about. Jay Billis, this NC State program, every case there in the 50s and 1959 ACC tournament champs, a rich history in this tournament.
An incredible tradition and history in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and Tommy Burleson, who played on those great NC State teams with Monty Tao, David Thompson, Tim Stoddard, who went on to fame in the major leagues with the Baltimore Orioles. But Everett Case was really the one that started it all. The tournament used to be played out of Reynolds Coliseum, which I'm sure a lot of coaches in the league weren't too happy with back then.
Well, good start here for the Pack. The kick out here for Joyner. Smith will let fly. Got another one.
You can't even figure out what his range is. As long as he's inside a half court, he can put it up.
As you said, he had been scuffling with that three and only hitting 33% for the season. He's taken over 250 of them, about 8.5 attempts a game, but on fire here early tonight in Greensboro.
Well, Casey Morcell is doing such a good job defensively, switching off, blowing up dribble handoffs and exchanges.
Padula needs that much room to fire and hit. The 6'1" sophomore, he can also really get rolling beyond that three-point line.
John Padula went to Edmond Memorial High School in Oklahoma. You know who else went there?
Who did?
Bill Self. Bill Self claims to be the best player ever at Edmond Memorial, but I don't necessarily believe that.
I think Padula's in the photo.
Definitely in the photo.
Shot clock down to 5.
What a pass.
Finding an open man underneath and the dunk. Tawana getting free. And NC State playing free and easy.
Well, they are really spreading this Virginia Tech defense out. You have to go out so far to guard Smith and Joyner.
Mutz bodied up and fouled on the play. 13:47 left here in the first half.
What do you say in the scouting report? Close out to Terquavion Smith at 29-30 feet. And then the little screen up top. And then a rescreen in the slot. And Tawana just rolls right to the basket. Nobody able to pick him up. That's why you want to run so much out of the middle of the floor. It's so hard for Help to cover all that. You run it from the side, Help is positioned. You run it from the middle, it's more difficult for Help to recover.
Clark picked up his first foul. Padula will try another. Not this time. Swung inside again, and once again the finish by Tawana.
With the floor so spread, that opens up, and these screens are being set high, and that opens up the roll. There's just a lot of space on the court. The court's 50 feet wide, and right now NC State's using every inch of it.
Yeah, and they're finding the big, the 6'11" junior. That's going to be a whistle inside.
NC State averages about 13 assists a game, but that wasn't even a screen. It was just a little rub and then a roll to the basket. Those little random screens in transition, kind of an early drag. But sometimes you don't even have to set the screen. You're so worried about the ball that the screener becomes open on the roll.
Poteet at the line. NC State hot. They have made 8 out of 10 to open up a 22-11 lead as Collins hits the bench. And Poteet will get another. And big DJ Burns dying to get back on. I'm going to back him off for a moment.
Too bad he doesn't have any personality.
Yeah, he's not having any fun playing the game. It's real drudgery for the 6'9" grad from South Carolina.
When NC State plays a home game, when DJ Burns gets the ball, the crowd starts cheering just when he gets it. Before he does anything, they love him.
He's had some big games against Wake. 31 points, 9 rebounds. Jump shot on the way, and that won't fall, but everything else has been falling early on. They're going to get a second crack as Burns kept alive. Morcell will drive it. He takes the foul, and he'll be at the line.
Oh, Rodney Rice just was bending over for that ball. You got to get possession. Possession's more important than position, and it's more important than trying to take it the other way. You got to get the ball first. And Rice was there to get it. He was hurt earlier in the season. But he is a talented offensive player that is going to be really, really good.
Morcell drops in the first. Former Virginia Cavalier. Played 2 years for Tony Bennett at Virginia. And hitting 42% beyond the three-point line. That's the best among the regulars.
And he had 15 points the last time these two teams played. But he's such a good defender. You know, the balance of the guards, that trio of guards that NC State has. You know, they can all score. They're pretty good defenders. Morcell, I think, is the best of the three.
Couture doubling back. He'll draw the foul. Held up by Breon Pass there, 6-foot sophomore with number 1.
Couture is such a good cutter. You know, constant motion and his shot preparation. He's ready to shoot it when the ball arrives. That makes him even more dangerous.
Yeah, 43% at the three-point line. A spin by Padula. Can't finish the play. NC State wants to run. Smith quickly gets it to go. What a tough shot, too.
Oh, he probably got hit. It didn't seem to bother Terquavion Smith. Making that first shot. Well, he's seeing a big basket right now, and he is attacking at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, quick 10 points for him. And a great early sign here for the Wolfpack. Choppy offensive start here for the Hokies, Jay.
Yeah, they got to start putting some back cuts in.
Couture drags the foot and a travel.
Terquavion Smith averages about 17 points per game. That is 3rd in the league, but gets the block on Sean Padula. And just a rip and run and taking it the other way. Good luck staying in front of Terquavion Smith.
Virginia Tech's Hunter Couture wants to be a coach, and in the huddle, he called for this screening action. He wanted to set up this play that helped them win the game against Notre Dame last night, and Justin Mutz gave him a shout out like, hey, if he doesn't set that screen, we don't win that game. I don't get that dunk. And that's just how smart Hunter Couture is he knew how they were defending him earlier in the game. He brought it up to coach in the huddle, and coach had enough trust in him that they let him run that action, and the result, a game-winning play, a game-winning screen from Hunter Couture.
Well, that's exactly right, Holly. He is a really smart, high IQ basketball player, but that, that could solve this whole employee issue. Just hire the guys as assistant coaches.
Offensive here on Burns. 23-12 NC State. He's also, trying his hand interviewing, working with the press corps and firing off some questions at Mike Young, his head coach. He's had fun with that.
A young fine man like Hunter Couture. It's been the biggest pain in my life I've ever Next question.
I love that. At the next question.
Well, Hunter Couture is far too smart to be a member of the media.
Senior out of Orlando. Again, missed the first time they played. Mutz got airborne, left it short, followed the miss. Right back up and almost went, but he'll be at the line.
Justin Mutz is a really good rebounder. Started his career at High Point, went to Delaware, and then to Virginia Tech. He's got 2 master's degrees already. And he's the leading rebounder on this team, 8th in the league, just under 8 rebounds a game. But you talk about a respected player around the league that really does everything out there. Great passer, outstanding defender.
Yeah, look at all the degrees. I asked him about a month ago, I said, are you going for the doctorate? Is that in your future? And he said, well, I'm not thinking about it right now, but maybe down the line when I'm done playing ball.
Well, Scholar Athlete of the Year. You don't get all those in 1 year. He's had to work a lot longer than that.
Mutz at the stripe, drops it in. He makes 62%. 4 points so far tonight. And by the way, 2 fouls on DJ Burns of the Wolfpack. He goes to the bench. 11:06 to go in a half. So in a little bit of trouble.
Right now, Virginia Tech, they've been getting spread out. And you have to stay on NC State's best shooters, and that's going to spread you out a little bit. But the help side has to be active, and you have to move on the flight of the ball in order to stay with NC State.
Jarkel Joyner back it up, averaging 17. Marcel wants to drive it. Keeps on working. Can't finish the shot, though. He did everything but.
NC State switching a lot of exchanges, and they've been aggressive.
In for Kidd. Kidd had a great look inside. It's going to be batted out. That's going to stay on this end with 10.5 to go.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd has had 4 double-figure games this year. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds against NC State earlier this year, but he'd love to have that one back. That was an easy one.
And he makes 66% of his shots, but that one would not drop.
A nice job by Jack Clark to really stay with Couture off that staggered screen.
Kidd giving up the dribble. Shot clock at 8. Collins trying the baseline, sealed. Got it inside, a kick out. Here's Basile. Got an excellent look, but it wouldn't fall.
It was a good look, but a little bit of a rush shot. I thought Couture might take the first one.
Yes. Jumping inside, Joyner. Kidd knocks the rebound to a teammate. Here come the Hokies behind Rice.
The State's doing such a good job of putting pressure on the ball. If there is an opening to make a pass, vision is taken away.
Couture to the paint. Not there. NC State airtight D. Here's Smith. Yes, sir. Another one from way downtown.
What do you do with that? When you think you've stopped the ball, all of a sudden a 27-footer goes up and you're taking it out of the net.
Whistle here with 9:15 to go and a foul on Rice. I should say on Joyner.
I mean, that's beyond range. He's 3 steps outside the 3-point line. You know, Hunter Couture is a really good defender, but you don't think about, and you need to with Terquavion Smith, but you don't think about, man, I got to pick him up at 26 feet and make sure he doesn't pull up after we stop the ball.
So much for a shooting slump. So it'll be Rice at the line here for the Hokies. And drops in number 1. And Padula coming back on. They need someone to get a hot hand. Virginia Tech has missed 6 consecutive shots.
Well, NC State's done such a good job of staying with cutters, putting great pressure on Sean Padula and sticking with Hunter Couture off every screen, switching if necessary. And NC State, when they switch to take something away. I mean, they're looking to get a hand on the ball, and they can be really disruptive.
Now Keats calling for a play. Gant handing off. Padula out on Smith. Up he goes for 2 more. He made that look easy.
Well, you press up on him, and you're seeing Virginia Tech hedge on just about every ball screen action, but you press up on him and he's going to go by you. You give him some space, he's going to pull up and knock in a 25-footer.
Yeah, he has 15 points. Hot half for Terquavion Smith. Collins going around the back trying to get free. Gets the jumper up there, but no.
Boy, the quality of shot difference between what NC State is getting and what Virginia Tech is getting is pretty stark.
Here's Marcel. Yeah, oh yeah. And that's the biggest lead tonight. 31-16 NC State in a timeout.
Dave, some of these are 4-pointers. You're not going to have to go to replay to see if their foot was on the line. My goodness, what a shooting exhibition from deep from the NC State Wolfpack.
Wojo Green and Cuff in studio. Colgate Red Raiders demolished Lafayette in the championship game for the Patriot League. 3rd straight tourney, Wojo.
Matt Langle has built a dynasty at Colgate, a fun offensive team to watch. They take care of it and shoot 41% from 3 as a team.
Oklahoma State on the bubble. First team out per Joe Lenardi doing it right
Well, right now they're getting to the rim with Chris Harris there, but the bottom line is they've got a lot of length and speed. They already have 3 blocks in this game.
Back to OB and Jay in Greensboro.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. NC State on fire from 3, 5 out of 7 to open up a 31-16 lead. North Carolina won easily over BC tonight. They face the number 2 seed Virginia in the quarters tomorrow. Winner of this one will take on the 3 seed Clemson.
You know, NC State's shooting has been the headline and the thing we're going to talk about, but their defense has been pretty good. Justin Mutz going one-on-one in the post against Greg Gant and just went right through his chest. But you haven't seen a lot of easy shots for Virginia Tech in this first half.
Sure haven't. Different story for the Wolfpack as they're shooting from midcourt. Luana getting active here in the first half. He's had a couple of baskets, not this time.
And Terquavion Smith double team, passed right out to Casey Morsell, and they got it right inside. The ball movement has been really good for NC State.
And Smith has 15. Is an open man underneath. It's Kidd for 2.
Yeah, really good little low cross by Hunter Couture. Set a little cross screen to get Lynn Kidd open. And Couture knows that if he sets a screen first, he's more likely to get open than off any action as a cutter.
Gant will swing it. Morsell. That 3 won't drop. And a little bit of momentum all of a sudden for the Hokies.
Yeah, you got to get some stops in order to eat into this lead. But this is a resilient Virginia Tech team. They're tough.
Mutz up top, working on Morsell. He bats it away, right to Smith. Smith over the top for Joyner to lay it in. Great teamwork there. Padula on the other end. They're going to try it, and the stuff by Kidd.
Boy, that's the way you answer. You give up an easy one in transition due to the deflection. And NC State's got a number of deflections in this ball game. But that's the way you answer.
Yeah. Joyner sticks it. 2-pointer.
What do you do? MJ Collins played really good defense there. That was just superior offense over good defense.
Quite a series back and forth. By the way, Hunter Couture scoreless so far. That's a major story for the Hokies, given the tournament he had last year underneath for Kidd, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That'll be a charge with 5:49 to go. The nothing but net crew will be back at 11:30 Eastern after this game to break down all 4 New York Life ACC tournament second-round games. We'll have post-game interviews plus a look ahead at Thursday's quarterfinals, all on the ACC network, and of course more on Jim Boeheim and the end of his career as the head coach of Syracuse University. A huge story here today.
I love watching nothing but net, but boy, Kelsey Riggs has a tough job. She has to say, national champion Luke Hancock, national champion Joe Barry, national champion Carlos Boozer. It takes her 15 minutes for the intro to go through all the championships.
A lot of wins up there on that set. Little bump. Smith again gets hit, and he's going to shoot 3. That's how hard it is to guard him right now. Look at our national champs. And
she's just looking at, Kelsey's looking up what other accomplishments Luke Hancock's had. He finally wore a tie, though. Did you see them down in Miami?
I did.
Talk about casual Friday. My goodness.
Yeah.
You're professionals, gentlemen. Wear a tie.
Oh, they are a lot of fun to listen to and break down everything that's happened here at the ACC tournament. It's just nothing like this event. Smith, meanwhile, at the line shooting 3, working on 15. Misses the first couple, though.
He's too close.
Yeah, got to be the problem. 71% at the line for the sophomore.
Yeah, I think the mini slump is over.
I think that's a pretty good bet, the way he shot the 3 tonight. Makes one of the 3. And it's 36-22. He has 16.
Maybe that's the answer. Just foul him every time down. He scores fewer points.
Who will catch fire for the Hokies? They need an answer to that question. Basile calling for it, but a whistle there. Bodies dropping, both of them Hokies. Basile in a little bit of pain there, and Couture is down too. Couture had hurt his elbow earlier in the season, was out for quite some time. Looks like he took a knock there. Clark with his second foul.
It's been so difficult for Virginia Tech to make passes against the NC State defense. They've wound up dribbling more than Mike Young would like.
I think it was Basile hitting his own teammate. Yeah.
And fell right over the top of him.
Checking out his own elbow. Grant Basile, 6'9" grad from Wisconsin. And so Couture shooting a 1-and-1 as they go to the monitor here. He's 75%. And they're confirming the shooter. That's the reason Clarence Armstrong is over there at the monitor. And a 36-22 advantage for NC State. They look good from Jump Street tonight. So we'll check out the bracket again. Our New York Life ACC Men's Tournament bracket. One more quarterfinal ticket to punch here tonight. Clemson awaiting the winner. Virginia, North Carolina at 7 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be on ESPN. So Couture will be the shooter. And Hunter, a number 5 man all time in 3-pointers made at Virginia Tech at the foul line.
He was the most valuable player of the ACC tournament last year when Virginia Tech went on that 4-day run to win the title and stamp a ticket to the NCAA tournament. He had 31 points in that final against Duke. He was just spectacular.
When you were checking out the bracket and all the seeding before things got underway in Greensboro, who were you picking to go all the way?
Well, Miami. I think Miami's probably the best team, but you never know in this tournament format. You know, it's not often that the number 1 seed, or not as often as you would think that the number 1 seed goes on and wins the tournament. And you know what, Dave, sometimes for NCAA tournament success, sometimes not winning the tournament isn't the worst thing.
Joyner too strong and tipped out by NC State with 4:49 to go. It just had the feel of being pretty darn wide open coming in.
Yeah, nobody had really no team had established itself as being head and shoulders above the crowd. You know, the best teams proved to be the more consistent.
Here's Smith too strong. Padula had the rebound knocked away.
What a pass.
Oh yes, and Dewana knows exactly what to do with it.
It's a beautiful wraparound pass. by Gant.
(38-24), the Pack.
So far, any handoff action, you know, the pressure's really gotten to Virginia Tech.
Yep.
And Mike Young holding his hands out, saying, settle down a little bit, settle down. Off the offensive rebound, Gant takes it to the basket, draws the defense, and just wraps right around Lynn Kidd. Just a beautiful pass. Got two defenders to commit. And NC State is clicking on just about all cylinders in this first half.
Leading in the paint 16-10. Leading from the logo by a bunch where a lot of their shots have come from. Smith back up top for Joyner, who makes 36% beyond that line. He'll fire up another one. Yes, sir.
He's just measuring it. He's just giving a little shake, step back. His step back move is so good. But you can just see him measuring that shot. And Kevin Keith's telling Casey Morsell, get up and impact the ball.
Basile going strong, banks it in.
That was a strong move by Grant Basile. I don't know that any big guys played better over the last 10-12 games.
ACC honorable mention for the 6'9" Basile. 5 points tonight, fairly quiet. Joyner, shot clock at 7. Here he is again. Round and out. It comes free to Padula. Hokies trying to cut in. He'll drive it. And blocked by Duana. Man, did he sprint to the other end. Smith with a triple. Yes!
Wow. This is like a video game.
How do you guard this backcourt for NC State? Good luck to you. Couture, who's been silenced tonight. And the Wolfpack threatening to run away with this thing in the first half. Joyner on Padula. Morsell off the fake. A step back, and before the shot, he drew the foul on Couture. NC State rolling here to a 44-26 advantage. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business.
What's up? Wojo Crean Cup coming at halftime. Jim Boeheim no longer the head coach at Syracuse after 47 years. We'll hear from the Hall of Famer what he had to say after the game. Also, bubble teams in action will have those highlights. To quote Jay Billis, Joyner and Smith are legit.
Well, they are, and obviously the pressure is great from NC State. But Virginia Tech's been in the bonus for a while. Like, slow the game down, get the thing inside, get free throws, stem the tide that way a little bit.
I don't know if there's any slowing Tarquavian Smith down. Dave, make sure Billis picks up the check. It would be a first.
I pick up checks. I just hand them to Dave.
I'm grateful to pay. And this guy's made a difference here. Duana, the 6'11" junior, has come on and scored 8 points.
Well, he's been active on both ends of the floor, but after he sets a screen, he rolls hard to the basket and posts up. And you know, NC State, anytime there's two men on the ball, they pass out of it right away. So they've been moving the ball from side to side. And Smith and Joyner, they've got 31 points combined. I mean, those two are outscoring Virginia Tech by themselves.
Basile downstairs. Duana coming out of nowhere again to block the shot. Look at Joyner. He's a rocket down the lane. Duana will scoop and lay it in. What a half.
The speed of NC State. They are getting the ball down court so quickly, and they put a ton of pressure on Virginia Tech's transition defense. But you hesitate for a second, as Basile did going up for that shot, and Duana knocks it away.
Boy, Couture just can't buy one in and out on that long-range shot. 49-26, under 90 seconds to go in the half. Wolfpack just rocking and rolling. Joyner couldn't handle that one, and out it goes, but they haven't made many mistakes.
Just a great recovery by Dewana coming all the way from the top of the key. And as soon as he blocks it, it is just a one-man fast break. But Dewana did not quit on the play. Got all the way back after blocking that shot and then got the stick back.
Couture for Mutz, a dribble down, knocked away, and a whistle with 1:05 left in the half.
But even on that dive to the basket by Justin Mutz, Greg Gant was right there. Now, this has been an active help side defense. They're moving as the ball moves, and the pressure on the ball has been excellent. There's been a number of deflections, steals. Everything's challenged.
Gant with a personal, Mutz to the line. So with 1:04 left in the half, NC State with a basketball and pressing 50 points here. Now their offense has been high octane all season long, averaging 78 points a game. This is another level above that tonight.
No question. I mean, this has to be, if not the highest scoring first half in ACC play. It's challenging for it.
Joyner on the pull-up pop. The follow up and in, and they are relentless on that glass. That was Gant making it a 10-0 run.
Jarkel Joyner so good at snaking off those ball screens. He can split defenders, pull up. Boy, the job's not done once the shot goes up. I mean, maybe there wasn't defensive rebound because everything's been going in. What a pass.
Whipped ahead, and Joyner with the finish. Wow. Man down on the other end. That's Gant. Greg Gant for the Wolfpack in some pain with 18.1 seconds before the break. And the trainer's out to attend to Greg, 6'8" junior. He's out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And the play continued on without him. And a lightning strike for the Wolfpack to lead it 53-26. And we'll look for the replay.
Looks like
exactly what happened.
Looked like his knee got twisted up here. Yeah, got stepped on by Justin Mutz, and that is an awkward angle. That right leg just inadvertently stepped right on his right foot. It's nice that people can get along, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Awfully sweet. And a nice hand for Greg here in the building, but hobbling off.
Well, it's good to see him just walking under his own power. That was not an attractive happening.
So Ernest Ross, 6'9" sophomore, in for Gant. He's going to make his way toward the tunnel and the locker room here just before halftime. (53-26) NC State rocking and rolling here in the first 20. Can the Hokies recover? Padula, no. And that's it for the half. Biggest halftime deficit of the season for the Hokies. NC State certainly earned that. 53-26 at the break.
NC State was good in every area of play. Better than good. Spectacular first half.
Let's go to Holly with Coach Keats.
Well, Coach Keats, you've seen your guards perform at a high level all year, but how do you describe what you're seeing right now? This ties an ACC tournament record for the biggest lead in a half.
Well, we're playing hard, Holly. We're getting after it. We're playing with a sense of urgency. Those guys are mixing that game up between driving the ball and then shooting the three. So we're playing really good basketball right now.
Yeah, defensively, Virginia Tech trying to start their offense and then push them so far out. How is that pressure happening?
Well, I think we're doing a good job being very active, and that's what we wanted to do. E.B. Dewana's had a really good first half for us on the defensive end. So the times that we're getting beat off the dribble, he's been able to clean it up. We wanted to defend the three-point line. I thought we did a good job the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
NC State as sharp as it gets and have been all over Virginia Tech on both ends of the floor, leading at 53-26. Terquavion Smith leading the charge. Talk about a tough move. Got it to go. Time for halftime. We'll be back here in Greensboro.
Welcome to the All-State Halftime Report. Yes, NC State has got it going up 27. Most points they've scored in a half this year in ACC play, 53. But Colgate punched the second ticket of the night out of the Patriot League, third straight NCAA tournament.
And fourth in 5 years, Matt Lango has built a dynasty at Colgate. This is the best three-point shooting team in the country, highly skilled, and they share the ball.
They could definitely win a game. They've given some other teams a run for their money. Wisconsin last year, Arkansas 2 years prior to that. All right, Wake Forest up against Syracuse until Benny Williams hits that three, puts him up 2. And then Coach Green, Cameron Hildreth, what is this?
That is the Cam Hildreth right there. That's all you got to say. He just shot a cam on him. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's straight out of England, because I've never seen anybody born in the United States shoot that ball.
If that was a miss, I feel like you wouldn't have been too happy about it. All right, let's go. Joe Girard tied up. He misses a shot. We're going the other way. There are no timeouts. Tyree Appleby hooks up Davian Williamson.
Great execution by Wake Forest. Tyree Appleby is able to freeze Juna Mintz and set up Davion Williamson for a step-in three. Excellent execution under pressure.
Williamson was the story. They didn't just win. They covered. Juna Mintz is crying. This is heartbreaking. And then Jim Boeheim did this.
I've just been lucky to be able to coach this long. I think you missed it. I gave my retirement speech on the court last Saturday, and I gave it in the press conference afterwards, and nobody except William Payne figured it out.
So are you saying right now that you're going to retire?
This is up to the university.
You want to come back?
I didn't say that.
Okay, but so what are you saying? You're not saying you're retiring, but you're not saying...
I just said it. I don't know.
So you don't know? Okay.
I said this is up to the university.
And you're not sure whether you're... How will you make a determination about when you will come back?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
Well, that wasn't clear. The university made it clear a few minutes after that, saying Jim Boeheim would not be returning as head coach after 47 years leading the university's basketball program. They also announced he will be replaced by longtime assistant and former player Adrian Red Autry. And these are some of the accolades: 47 seasons as head coach, 6 decades including his playing career, an assistant coach, over 1,000 wins, a national champion. He's done it all. Coach Green, your reaction to hearing this go down and in the manner in which it did?
Well, the first thing is William Payne should go into a career of giving stock tips, because he picked up something everybody else didn't. In all seriousness, one of the great coaches. It's just unfathomable to believe that a guy has spent 60 years of his life at a school, from an 18-year-old walk-on at Syracuse, assistant coach, and the legendary coach that he is. It's tough in many ways to watch it like this, but I think shortly we'll be able to go and look at this. Like, this guy was phenomenal as a coach for decades.
I had a chance to be around Coach Boeheim in the 2008 and 2012 Olympics, and he's as good a basketball mind as I've ever been around. A giant in the game, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like me who, when they first fell in love with college basketball, Jim Boeheim was front and center in the game and the growth of the game.
Big Mondays.
Big Mondays.
Big Mondays.
Big John Thompson, Lou Carnesecca, those great jackets Coach Boeheim used to wear. 47 years. Congratulations, Coach. Unfortunately went out like this, but still, he is a legend, no doubt about it. Terquavion Smith is becoming an ACC tournament legend for this performance. He's got 19 right now.
This halftime report is presented by Allstate, reminding you that college basketball season is mayhem.
And they lose, and looking like on the wrong side of the bubble now. This is good stuff if you're a Pack fan. They are cruising over the Hokies right now. Champ Week is here. Jarkel Joyner's making his presence felt. Halfway to Ice Cube performance, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. This has been the Allstate Halftime Report.
NC State cooking here at halftime, leading Virginia Tech 53-26 as we welcome you back to ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal. This is the New York Life ACC tournament. And in the first half, Terquavion Smith and company just rolling. Smith with 19. Joyner and Duana combined for 25 more. They shot 64%. Highest scoring half against an ACC team this season for the Wolfpack. And they just laid it on Dave O'Brien along with Jay Billis and Holly Rowe. Can they top that in the second half?
Well, I think Kevin Keats probably didn't talk about offense at halftime. He probably talked about keeping up the defensive intensity, because every bit as impressive as the offensive firepower we saw from NC State was how well they played on the defensive end. And NC State, you take a look at that shot chart, those O's might be a little too close than the actual shots. I mean, they were 63% in that first half, 7 of 13 from 3. And Joyner and Smith combined for 33 points in that first half. Just a fantastic half.
Burns was in foul trouble in the first half. He's going to draw a foul here. Let's go to Holly.
Virginia Tech coach Mike Young said, I've been a lot better than this half. He's always such a good-natured man, but he said, we're just not getting to them. Their ball screen coverage is excellent right now, and those are big league guards. We're just not connected enough defensively, and we're not making it difficult. It is essential we get to them better. Don't give them so much space. And he said, I promise we're going to do a better job here in the second half.
Well, one of those big league guards hits again. Smith had a terrific game. NC State closed the half on a 17-2 run. They got serious.
And, you're hitting floaters, runners, threes, step backs, you name it. And then Ebenezer Duana as the first half was fantastic. I love saying Ebenezer.
Oh, me too.
I mean, he had a career high 11 points. He blocked a couple shots, and because of his play, Virginia Tech was Scrooged. Get it?
Nicely done.
I think so too.
It's fun to say, not just at Christmas time. 55-28. It'll be Basile at the line.
Drew 2 defenders. Anytime you help up, which Jack Clark did there, you're going to have an opening. But that's been few and far between in this game for Virginia Tech. It's been so difficult against NC State's defense to get any openings. And in that first half, Sean Padula and Hunter Couture combined for 1 of 11 from the field.
Joyner shredding the D with that hand. Left hand can't get it to roll in. Couture with only 2 points. Miss and a dunk by Mutz on the nice follow. He has 8.
And I like Hunter Couture letting that fly in transition. You can get a better shot against NC State early than you can trying to grind it out, because their defense has been excellent. Their help side, switches have been timely.
Morsell thinking about it. Shot clock down to 6. And Couture with a rebound. And the Hokies are a quality opponent. They've won 19 games. Mutz will line up a long one. Not there for him. But the Wolfpack in the first half at times are just playing with them. Here's Smith tiptoeing through, and he converts.
How many steps does he get? I mean, there's no way you can guard him if he gets 3 steps.
He has 23. 9 out of 11 shooting. Basile trying to get position behind Burns. He did, and he'll lay it in.
Boy, what a pass. Casey Morsell was switched off onto Grant Basile. He just fronted him, and when you're smaller, you just front and fight, and that's exactly what he did. What a move.
Oh, and what a shot too by the big guy. Burns light on those feet.
He doesn't look like he should be able to do that, but you watch it on film, you watch him in person, his feet are fantastic.
Swished in, and a 3-point answer by Padula. Been pretty quiet in this one with 6 points.
And NC State just giving Virginia Tech a little more space in the second half than they did in the first.
Joyner loses the dribble. Burns on Basile.
Mutz is coming. Good pass.
Clark will drive it and back in 2.
Boy, that's how to play out of a double team. That little hook pass to Morsell gets it into the corner, and the shot fake and drive from Jack Clark. That was really pretty.
His first basket. Mutz inside, but the Hokies right now are just trading baskets.
They are, and it's awfully difficult to win that way, but at least offensively, what Virginia Tech is doing is getting the ball down court quickly and trying to strike early.
Now they need some stops. Easier said than done. And bodying up is Basile, trying to chase down Smith. He'll commit the personal, his third.
DJ Burns is a lefty and catches it on the left side of the floor, makes a move, just a spin, little drop step to the basket. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's hard to guard.
16:20 to go.
I can stay with them for 3 steps, not 4.
Clark to the paint, scoops it in. That's a pretty play.
Jack Clark transferred in from LaSalle, double-digit scorer there. He's a good rebounder, versatile, skilled, and he's another guy that gets deflections out there.
Yeah, he's long. Collins zips it here to Basile. Trying to inch a little bit closer. Collins, some quick dribbling, can't convert it though.
Nice job by Morcell to get late pressure on that shot.
Joyner to push it.
How quickly does he get it up the floor?
Thinking the same thing. They are lightning fast. You have to get back on the Wolfpack or you're dead. Burns muscling his way, threw it away. Collins with the pick. Leading the charge here for Couture. Couture going in strong in the bank.
Well, that was a strong move. Couture gives that little shot fake. And it's not a violent fake, but it's so effective because his credibility as a shooter is so good.
Clark lines it up, and it rattles in from three-point land.
Boy, what do you do? I mean, you stay with Joyner, put 2 on the ball, and then Jack Clark just little pick and pop and drills a 3 on you.
Then the story of the night, Wolfpack hitting from way downtown over and over and over again. And just thrown away by Padula. There was nobody home. They've turned it over 8 times in this one. 66-40. All Wolfpack so far tonight.
Well, today is International Women's Day, and how better to celebrate than showcasing the best women in the ACC, winning the ACC tournament for the first time in school history. And of course, we are here with those incredible women, the ACC Player of the Year, Liz Kitley, and her bad you-know-what guard, Georgia. I almost just swore on national TV. Sorry about that. You guys have been so great for so long, 2-time ACC Player of the Year. How have you been able to really elevate your game?
I will attribute that to my coach, Coach Kenny Brooks. He's put a lot of time and effort into me to make me better, and probably hundreds of individuals over the last few years, so I will attribute it to that.
You guys have time off. Selection Sunday is coming up. Where are you excited to go, and what are you hoping to accomplish, Georgia?
At this point, I'm ready to play anywhere and against anyone. I love March. It's my favorite time of the year, so I'm just ready to see where we go, who we have on Sunday.
You guys are here trying to encourage the men. What do you think right now about the game?
The defense is going to need to step up a little bit. 66 points with 15 minutes left is crazy, but NC State's offense has been really good, so credit to them.
All right, well, thank you so much. International Day of the Women, and I could not have picked 2 more incredible women to be celebrating with. Thank you both so much.
Love that response, too. You know, when you're asked, where do you want to go, where do you want to play in the tournament? I'll go anywhere. I'll play anybody.
Anytime.
Anytime.
And Liz Kitley, the 2-time ACC Player of the Year. This is kind of depressing, but I played against her dad.
Did you? Really?
Ralph Kitley played at Wake Forest. I actually was one of the hosts of Ralph Kitley when he visited Duke, and after a weekend with me, he decided anywhere but here. So he went to Wake Forest.
Padula the foul a moment ago. Clark taking the baseline on another nifty move. And give him 9.
It's just so difficult to guard NC State because the floor is so spread. And that opens up driving lanes, and Jack Clark taking advantage of it in the second half.
Mutz to the paint, and 1. They need a lot more of that. Justin Mutz, the 6'7" senior from New Jersey, with the basket. And he's got a dozen. Well, Greg Gant got injured earlier, and here he is on crutches.
Now, that is not good to see. Greg Gant got his first start of the year against Duke back in January. And he is an important piece of this NC State puzzle with his ability to guard and rebound.
Yeah, good passer, too. 68-45, the Pack. dominating effort so far here tonight. Much like North Carolina against Boston College. Morcell from the corner, short. The three-pointer's been a huge part of the attack. They are 8 out of 16. Mutz went all the way in for 2.
NC State just not stopping the ball first 7 minutes of the second half, but they've got such a big lead.
Now 4 different NC State shooters have hit a three-pointer tonight. So to your point, who do you guard? Dewana, and they get it to go.
Trying to jump in front of the roller, tag Dewana as he rolls to the basket, and that opened up a offensive rebound lane for Casey Morcell. And you give NC State credit, like they don't quit on any play.
Mutz around the back, gets kicked right to Kidd into the paint. Literally kicked.
How many deflections has NC State had tonight? They always have a goal of 40. And Kevin Keats is a Rick Pitino guy, and that was a big stat for Rick Pitino, was getting deflections. Shows how active your defense is, and if you chart it, you can coach it.
You and I were chatting before the game as Couture gets 2 about the difference from when you played in this tournament at Duke years ago and players today playing 3 or 4 consecutive days. I mean, players today have the ability, because the training methods and medicine, everything have come so far. That's going to go the other way, that players feel so much fresher than 20, 30 years ago.
Well, the technology with rest and recovery, and all the players wear monitors of all their vitals, so they know exactly what to get them as far as their hydration. Nutrition is so much better. I mean, back in the day, they gave us a slice of pizza and said, get some rest. I mean, it's so different now. But these players have to do more too. I mean, they're for a big guy now, back in the 80s, and before, you had to, as a big guy, you had to wrestle your guy for position at the free throw line on down. These guys are guarding 3-4 ball screens of possession. It's amazing, the activity level.
Yeah, that recovery begins the moment they leave the floor.
Mine begins in the bar.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. So the winner of this game between NC State and Virginia Tech will take on the number 3 seed Clemson. That's on ESPN 9:30 tomorrow. North Carolina won earlier as they rolled past Boston College. They'll take on the 2 seed Virginia at 7 o'clock. Quarterfinals just about set. And 70-49. The Wolfpack impressive here this evening in Greensboro. 11:49.
Jarkel Joyner trying to get the ball, being guarded by Sean Padula. He has been spectacular in this game. Not only his scoring, but he's got 9 assists, not a single turnover.
Wolfpack only turns it over about 10 times a game anyway. Very stingy. Joyner looking to make a move here on Padula. Shot clock to 10. Swing it up here for Smith. He cashes in. He's done that all night.
Just a great play by Joyner to get into the lane, and then that extra pass, which was the right pass, got a wide open look for Terquavion Smith. It's been a clinic offensively for NC State.
He is 26. Padula with an answer here. He drops in a triple. 9 points for Sean tonight.
Yeah, you have to chase him off of those screens. You can't go underneath because he'll just stop and pop.
Games like tonight, just a reminder of how amazing the Hokies run was last year in this tournament. Felt like it came out of nowhere. On the drive, the scoop shot by Joyner.
And that was a 30-foot drive by Jarkel Joyner. Yeah, but that run last year, I mean, to have Keve Aluma, who started out at Wofford, where Mike Young was the coach, had some great teams with Fletcher McGee, and then one of the great names in college basketball, Storm Murphy.
Yes.
That is a future meteorologist. Storm Murphy.
If ever I heard.
Coming up next, the weather with Storm Murphy.
It's got a name other meteorologists changed their name to. 23-13 last year, won the ACC tournament title for the first time. A scintillating run, buzzer beaters, last second shots, great performances. Those don't come around very often though. Padula on Joyner, he just got too far underneath. And up ahead, swatted away by much, but they're going to convert that. Smith, Johnny on the spot, is 28.
Well, another play where NC State didn't give up on the play. Terquavion Smith did not just assume that bucket was going to be made.
Mutz with a short one, left it short.
Who was the meteorologist you grew up with? Do you remember?
Bruce Schwegler.
Schwegler is not a... See, I grew up with Johnny Mountain, and then I live in Charlotte now where Larry Sprinkle is the guy.
Now, he changed that to Sprinkle.
No way.
Sure he did.
There's a long line of sprinkles that were great on the weather.
Joyner shredded everybody. And a whistle here in the paint. That was with 5 on the shot clock. And back to, as you say, not giving up.
Well, again, the speed of Jarkel Joyner had choices here, but Terquavion Smith just kept going right down the middle of the court. Just ran the pipe. I can't believe you think Larry Sprinkle changed his name. He's not an entertainer. He's a professional.
I can't believe you didn't blink when I said Schwegler.
Schwegler. He changed his name.
Just to make it easy for everyone to pronounce.
He probably came from the Sprinkle family and just couldn't take it.
I think you're probably right. There's a long line of Sprinkles. Joyner at 85% at the foul line, one of the best foul shooters in the conference.
As far as you know, the Sprinkle family, they were in the donut business, and Larry just broke away.
No future in it. Joyner to the bench. And pressure here from NC State, leading 79-52. Huge first half of the Wolfpack, and they've kept on keeping on. Couture can't bury it. Rebound tipped out. Stay on this end. Well, the huge news coming out of Greensboro today was at the end of the Syracuse loss to Wake Forest. Jim Boeheim gave a fascinating couple of answers that were hard to decipher during the press conference, whether or not he had retired. He said he had actually. As Couture drills that, he said, I had actually given my going away speech, my retirement speech, but everybody missed it. And then about an hour and a half after that, the university announced that was the end for Jim Boeheim.
It had to be a little cryptic as a retirement speech if everybody missed it.
Right. Yeah, how did everybody get that wrong?
But one of the great coaches in the history of sport, not just the history of basketball. Man with over 1,000 wins. It's actually over 1,100.
Yes.
They need to give him that 100 and some back.
I would agree with that. Yeah. But national championship, of course, and incredible success in a place where that was never a given. I mean, to attract the caliber of players over the years and the teams that he did to play at Syracuse, and I'm a Syracuse guy, and I can tell you what it's like in the wintertime there. To have those guys come year after year to Jim recruit the way he did and make them the teams they were, I thought that was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And already a member for the last couple of decades in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's in a number of halls of fame. Just an amazing career.
But it is over at Syracuse. Thought we might never hear that. Shot clock down to 5 and knocked in again. Pass this time from the wing. And everybody in on the act for the Wolfpack tonight.
Well, Breon Pass he was a high school football player, but can use either hand around the basket. Good defender. And NC State's depth is impressive. They can keep fresh bodies out there. They played Joyner and Smith a lot, but Kevin Keats can go to that bench and keep some fresh bodies coming at you throughout the 40 minutes.
NC State picked to finish 10th in the preseason ACC poll. They have proven to be a whole lot better than that.
And just the improvement from last year to this, and Terquavion Smith, and then adding in what a great pickup Jarkel Joyner was from Ole Miss.
Basile lets fly, not there for him. Nice spin move by Ross, but gives it right back. The long one swished in by Rodney Rice.
Well, Rodney Rice is a good talent. He's going to be a really good player out of DeMatha High School. He had an injury this year. His first game back was against Syracuse. And sometimes that's not the most fun to have to be thrown into it against that Syracuse zone.
Pass from the corner, got another one and another triple. They have been raining three-pointers in the Coliseum tonight.
And they have come from everywhere. There's not a spot on the floor where NC State hasn't drilled a three.
And the answer by Rice, but 10 out of 19 for the Wolfpack from three-point distance.
Well, Rodney Rice is a bucket getter. He had a clutch three late against Notre Dame. That was a huge shot.
Whistle stops the clock. Foul with 6:45 remaining. NC State actually 11 out of 20.
Well, of course, you see David Thompson, one of the greats of NC State. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years since they won that national championship. But Thurl Bailey, one of the leading scorers on that team, told us he sees some real similarities about what's going on now at NC State.
Has the potential to do some great things. And we got a chance to talk to those guys a little bit about what it takes. First of all, they got to be tight-knit. They got to believe in themselves. All the tough things they went through has gotten them to the point they are right now. So just the ability to go out and fight and leave it all out on the floor to put you in a great position to win, as Coach B used to say.
NC State brought all of the living members of that organization back. It's 40-year anniversary. They were back on campus 2 weeks ago, and they did get to talk to this team and share their experiences, share what it took. And Thurl Bailey said he's been very impressed by what he's seen there. Really likes the coach, really likes this young team, and makes me feel old that was 40 years, but very special that we get to memorialize it. So
yeah, you're not alone on that one, Holly. Hard to believe. I mean, I look at David Thompson and think, I used to have a David Thompson poster on my wall when I was a kid. One of my all-time favorite players. I had him up there, and I had Marcus Johnson on there.
Yeah, that old Adidas poster of Marcus Johnson. And David Thompson wasn't just one of the greats in NC State history. He may be the greatest player ever in the ACC. I mean, the Skywalker was something else. And sadly, because of the rule that the NCAA put in when Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, went to UCLA, they put in that no dunk rule. Can you imagine the highlight? I mean, David Thompson put up highlights anyway.
Right.
But could you imagine what he would have done if he could dunk the ball in college? What a huge mistake that was by the NCAA. But Thurl Bailey was a great player. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and I had to guard him a few times, and it was not pleasant. He is not only a great player, but one of the nicest human beings you've ever met in your life.
Interesting. You can watch a clip like that. You can tell that. If you've never met him, well, our Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Championship bracket. And the Big 12, roundly considered the best league in all of college basketball, led by #1 Kansas. They've got West Virginia tomorrow, 3 o'clock on ESPN.
West Virginia has played really well, especially of late. And it's a team that actually, usually they're known for their defense and rebounding. They're actually better offensively this year than defensively. And Eric Stevenson's been fantastic.
Joe Lunardi, these are the seeds he has coming out of the Big 12, and he's got Oklahoma State as a first 4 out.
Kansas can lose their first game and get shut out, and they're still a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They've won so many quality games. But that's a league that just has no bottom. It's amazing just how good that league is, top to bottom.
It's foul number 4 on DJ Burns. And we'll put Poteet to the line. The Rice transfer.
Now that 83 NC State team, the champions, that Holly was talking about. You know, that reunion they had, Terry Gannon was back, and Derek Wittenberg, Sidney Lowe, Ernie Myers, Cozell McQueen. And I think Terry Gannon's still upset that when Derek Wittenberg put up that shot that Lorenzo Charles dunked in to win the championship, he was wide open on the right wing. And Wittenberg didn't even look his direction.
Didn't even look at him. And I think still calls it a pass.
Well, I was with Justin Gainey recently. He's on Rick Barnes' staff. And Justin Gainey's son's a really good player, by the way. But Justin was talking about, you know, being on the list of the all-time great NC State point guards, and we were talking about him. And I was thinking, okay, Derek Wittenberg would be upset if he wasn't on this list, even though he was a two-guard. And then I thought, well, Derek Wittenberg would say he was the best center NC State's ever had. He's the best power forward NC State's ever had. The best small forward.
Right. Turnaround and a shot by Joyner. And they just keep on coming. He's got 20. He and Smith have been putting on a show. Joyner as much passing the basketball tonight as anything.
Jarkel Joyner's been magnificent all game long.
That's going to be an and one. Poteet slow to get up, but made the basket. Obviously on the dunk, he'll be at the line. Smith, by the way, with 30 points.
Now look, Gannon's wide open. Didn't even look at him. Wide open. It worked out pretty well. And Wittenberg still insists that was a pass, and he's petitioned the NCAA to give him an assist on that play, even though it was an offensive rebound.
You know, you see the celebration and Jimmy V racing around, looking for someone to hug and all that. Don't forget what a monumental upset that was. A staggering upset.
I don't think anybody outside of the NC State family thought that the Wolfpack was going to win that game. I mean, they're going against Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Young, Larry Michaud. I mean, they were unbelievably good.
Sure were.
Benny Anders. That semifinal game between Houston and Louisville. You know, Louisville back then, they were called the Doctors of Dunk, coached by Denny Crum. I mean, there must have been 20 dunks in that game.
Why do we love sports? Why do we love basketball? It's games like that. Pass straight on. Cannot hit that one. But a whistle with 4:54 to go. And these Wolfpack fans in attendance in Greensboro, they just want to celebrate tonight. It's a late evening as it is. Playing their way on into the quarterfinals. Tawana picks up foul number 3. And to the other end, it'll be Basile to shoot, where he makes 70%. He's been playing exceptionally well here over the last month and a half for Mike Young. And Casey Morsell about to come back to the floor for Kevin Keats. Now, 1 point late in the season, for the first time since 1982, NC State was ranked in the top 25, and both North Carolina and Duke were not. It's the first time NC State had been in the AP poll since January of 2019. Not in the top 25 at this point. Here's Smith. 30-point game for him. Clark steps back.
Well, when NC State plays with the kind of defensive intensity they played with in the first half, I mean, this team is going to be really hard to beat for anybody.
Rice with an air ball. And 4:22 showing.
You know, you think about Virginia Tech, and this team was 11-1 before Hunter Couture got injured with that. I think it was a lower arm, elbow, whatever it was. But when he went out, that sort of stopped the momentum of this team. Then Grant Basile really came on. But you know, you think about what might have been had Couture been healthy all year long.
And he is able to return as Clark misfires, but a whistle on this. With a COVID year, he has not said if he's going to take that or not and come back to Blacksburg.
I remember when Mike Young first got the job, coming from Wofford to Virginia Tech, they were playing in the Maui Invitational. And I had not seen Hunter Couture play. And he had recruited him at Wofford. And I said, you know, what do you think of Couture? And he said, he can play anywhere. And he's come so far as a defender. He's an excellent defender. And, you know, Mike likes to joke that when he first got to Virginia Tech, he couldn't guard Mike Young. I think he could have, but that was probably a little bit of an overstatement. But he's a really good defender, one of the smartest players in the college game.
Over 1,000 career points. I was there on Senior Day in Blacksburg, and he was honored. His mom and dad had a great video talking about many of the things you just discussed. But we'll see if that video proves to be true in the end, that he in fact is going to hang it up as a college player or return. Padula going around the back and gave it away. Joyner on the feed for Clark, and he'll stuff it home.
A double-digit assist for Jarkel Joyner. He has done everything in this game.
20 points, 10 assists for him. Under 3, Rice can't hit. Poteet will send it back out. He'll try it again, and he hit that one.
Shot both those from the exact same spot.
But too little, too late. Although he has 11. 2.5 to play.
And NC State intelligently going to use every second of the clock before they get into something.
Joyner kicks it out. Interrupted by Rice, so it'll be NC State ball. Wolfpack had dropped 4 out of 7 coming into Greensboro, but looking great tonight. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times.
Coming up here in just over 18 minutes, Virginia Tech fans will recognize Jalen Cone, Northern Arizona, looking to take down top seed of Montana State in the Big Sky title game.
Northern Arizona, only 7 Division I regular season wins and only 40 minutes away from an NCAA berth.
Tell you what, guys, I did not envision looking up as Larry Sprinkle real when I started my day today. Back to you.
Is Larry Sprinkle real? Well, just ask Jay Billis. Real as rain. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
You could always go back to L.A. Dallas Rains can give you the weather Rains. In addition to Johnny Mountain.
And that's for real. Here's Porcel around and out with a triple. Well, Dewan has played a terrific game. Coming out of nowhere tonight, the 6'11 junior. Under 2 minutes to play. Thomas Jr. rattles it in.
That's a nice move. Under control, gave a little shot fake, got the defender off the floor.
Smith and Joyner for the Wolfpack have combined for 50 points, 15 rebounds, 13 assists, and 1 turnover.
Really a fabulous performance by the NC State guards. Really everybody for NC State contributed, but in the first half, as impressive as the shot making, and that was impressive. I mean, it's like a video game. The defensive effort was what I thought started everything. Just such intensity on the defensive level, or on the defensive end, and Virginia Tech couldn't run anything in the first half.
No, they were suffocated. We're selling company about to celebrate this one. Their fans are already getting into it. Shot clock will expire here. With 1:19 to go. And so it is on to the quarterfinals. That field is set. The quarterfinals will get underway at noon tomorrow. Day games at noon and 2:30. And the night games at 7 and 9:30.
And I think with one exception, maybe it was the 8-9 game, all the top seeds have held, haven't they?
That is correct. One thing that will be interesting for the Wolfpack, a little bit worrisome, is Greg Gant.
That's the downer of this, to have such a great performance, and then, you know, Greg Gant was leaving on crutches, and you certainly hope it's nothing season-ending.
Ross kind of tiptoeing his way to drop in 2, and up to 95 points for the Wolfpack. Under a minute to go. So winding up with a couple of blowouts here in the night sessions. That one rattles home. Ross on target, Rice on target, and that's 17 for him.
But he's got a lot of offensive game. He's going to be a really good player. He's good now, but he's going to be really good.
Pass with a step back, around and out, and stuffed in Ernest Ross with a highlight at the very end of the game. 6'9" sophomore getting up there. Poteet, he'll draw the foul with about 25 seconds to go.
Late in the game, just a nice little step back, and nobody lays a body on Ernest Ross, and above the rim finish for the sophomore from Florida.
Coach Keats going strong to his bench now in the last seconds. NC State, from the opening tip, really controlled this game in impressive fashion. Kind of shot the lights out for most of it. And got a great performance from their backcourt, not for the first time certainly this season.
And it won't be the last. Those guys can light it up. And now KJ Keats, the 5'10" freshman son of head coach Kevin Keats, is into the ball game.
Wolfpack had a 27-point lead at halftime. And had already set that pace to score 100 points at 97 here.
And I know they're supposed to dribble out the clock, but when everybody gets into the game, you'd rather see them just play, man.
I'm with you. Let them roll.
Let them play.
Take a 25-footer.
They don't work all this time to dribble out the clock.
That's how it's going to end. 97-77. Didn't feel that close, actually. NC State rocking and rolling here tonight, Greensboro.
Impressive from tap to buzzer by NC State. Dominant on both ends of the floor.
So Clemson is next. The number 3 seed. North Carolina, big win earlier as well against Boston College. And they take on Virginia. So look at that bracket. We're going to start the day at noon tomorrow with Miami, the number 1 seed, against Wake Forest. They won a thriller today against Syracuse, the end of Jim Boeheim's career, and Duke and Pitt at 2:30 on ESPN. 2-4-5 should be a dandy there. And Virginia, Carolina, Clemson, NC State. Jay will have those games with Dan Schulman tomorrow night on ESPN. So the tournament shapes up for the quarterfinals. NC State serving notice here tonight that they are going to be trouble the rest of the way. Now let's go to Holly Rowe.
I'm scared to stand next to these guys because they are on fire. Tell me how you started this game and you're seeing the basket so big.
Shout out to my teammates. You know, I've been struggling a little bit coming into the tournament, so my teammates kind of gave me that energy, gave me that courage, worked with me, and believed in me to bounce back and have a great game.
You guys combined for 50 points, but more impressive to me, 1 turnover. How are you valuing every possession right now in March?
Who had that turnover?
Me. It was me.
Man, we're just playing together, man, having fun, man. It's a good group of guys, man. We love each other, man. We try to play hard for each other.
All right, Clemson beat you twice in the regular season. How do you get them back?
Man, it's motivation. It's motivation. I feel like God set this up on purpose. Ain't no coincidence. So, man, we got to come out. We got motivation, chip on our shoulder, man. We're going to try to come out and play hard.
Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yep, no problem.
That's a great sound, isn't it? When you can tell a team, see it tomorrow in tournament play. Nothing about surviving and advancing. They're going to put their sticker, I think, on that bracket, but a big, big win as the Wolfpack rolls 97-77. That is our final score tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon for Wake Forest in Miami. For Holly Rowe, Jay Billis, and Larry Sprinkle, I'm Dave O'Brien as we go to the studio.
Larry, you're a legend, my man. Who knew you'd have 27 mentions in a college basketball game? Welcome into College Basketball Live.
Well, we are wrapping up what has been a great day here at the Greensboro Coliseum. Second round action started with a bang and ended with a whole lot of offense. You see NC State celebrating as they take care of business against Virginia Tech. A big offensive performance, 97-77 the final in this one. That is the most that NC State has scored against an ACC opponent this season. And come on, here's the big moment. The lead up, you got to slap it on, because up next they are going to get a rematch with Clemson, a team that already took them down 2 times this season. We just heard on the ESPN broadcast the guys saying they're looking forward to getting one more shot at Clemson here at the ACC tournament. As we say hello to you from the inside of the Greensboro Coliseum alongside 3 former national champs, Luke Hancock, Carlos Boozer, Joel Berry. I'm Kelsey Riggs. It's great to be with you. We're going to get to that game in a second, and we'll be joined by Terquavion Smith, who just messed around and scored 30 points today. Welcome back into Nothing But Net. Let's take you through our evening matchup between the number 11 seed Virginia Tech Hokies and NC State. Great game from the beginning for NC State, especially Terquavion Smith when he's starting it off like this, Boost.
Right away, got to work, went right to the bucket, and it was a long night.
If you like seeing that from him, you're going to like seeing more, Joel.
Yeah, he could shoot it from anywhere. You got to get a tape measure to see where he shot that one from.
That's right. Meanwhile, getting it done on the defensive end as well. Forces the miss, grabs the rebound, takes it all the way up court. The one-handed finish.
I mean, it's a 1-on-4 break like part of the offense. You just like not going to stop with all those orange bodies out there.
I mean, pulling up from 3 with the hand in the face, buries it, getting it done, and then NC State getting it done on the defensive end as well. Little time, little space. Of course you're going to pull up like that. Jarkel Joyner, Smith knocking down another 3. He had 19 points in the first half. They were up 53-26 at the half. The largest halftime lead versus an ACC opponent this season. And Boozy just kept coming.
No, it was a rainfall. He just kept shooting it from everywhere. Looked like an ocean out there.
It sure did, as NC State gets it done, 97-77, the final in this one. Terquavion Smith on set with us now, and I want to give you this stat because he is just the second player over the last 25 seasons with 30 points on 80% shooting from the field in the ACC tournament. I mean, he just came out here and got it done. Third time this season that he's had 30 or more points this season. What was working for you today? You just came out and decided, hey, I'm going to fill it up.
I've really been struggling before coming into the tournament, so I had a lot of work put in, a lot of extra reps, as we call them, deposits. I had a lot of courage from my team, a lot of motivation behind me, so I knew I could be confident enough. If I was confident enough, it would just work out for me.
How do you get that kind of efficiency? You know, you were 11 for 13 from the field. I know when it rains, it pours sometimes and you're looking at a big basket, but that is just incredibly efficient.
Just taking what they gave me, not forcing too much, letting the game come to me.
You were doing 1-on-3 fast breaks right there. That's not taking what they gave you. That's saying nobody's stopping me. I'm going to do what I want out here.
Well, those players, that's a little different. I feel like that's that dog that I just have. Yeah. So that's that confidence that I keep. So I just work on that, let my team get me open, feed off their energy, and just do little things. Coach always told me if you play hard, the ball will find you. So just try to play hard.
Yeah, you were spectacular tonight, and so was your running mate, Jarkel Joyner. When you guys are playing like that, 50 points between you two, you almost messed around and got a triple-double. He had 10 assists as well and 7 rebounds. When you guys play like that, do you feel like you're unstoppable?
Yeah, I feel like it opens the game up for us. Also with our inside game, it's just hard to stop 2 guards that can score the ball at a high level and a 3-level scorer, so I feel like that makes us unguardable.
You have Jarkel Joyner, you know, coming into the game, y'all are at the top of the scouting report. But talk about some of the other key pieces on your team and how that helps you guys be a complete team.
I would say Casey Morcell plays a big part in our team as well. He's a defensive anchor, and he can shoot the ball well. He can drive you. So it's a lot of different pieces we have. Also, DJ Burns, as people know, great presence inside. You have to double him for sure. And we have energy off the bench as well. Those guys want to play. They probably could start anywhere else in the country, and they're going to come in and play hard.
speaking of that inside presence, man, DJ Burns, if you told me before the game he's going to have 3 points, he's going to have 1 rebound, and he's going to play 15 minutes, I say NC State gets smoked. Tell me about how DeWanna really stepped up, especially in that first half, and delivered that inside presence.
He stepped up big for us. He's also a key piece. He blocks shots, and he plays hard. That's all you can ask for from a good, solid big man. So I feel like he played his role to perfection.
DJ didn't want to just take the night off?
I don't know.
That's not in his mindset for sure. I know you guys are excited for the rematch tomorrow with Clemson. They won both of them against you, and I heard you say in that post-game interview you guys are looking forward to that matchup. We are too. Congratulations. A fantastic night for you and this team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of that fantastic night, he comes out and drops 30. We got to get the shot chart going, right, Luke? What do we see?
A whole lot of yellow circles, a whole lot of makes for this man.
What's it like, Joel, when you see that first shot? I mean, he comes out, he hits that first 3 of the game. No hesitation. You see it go down, and all of a sudden, I mean, you're feeling it. You know it's going to be easy tonight?
Yeah, it's almost like when you catch the ball and you let it go, it's like you're already running down the court because you know it's going in, and that's what this guy looked like tonight. And it's just amazing when that ball is going in for you, especially like he said, he was coming off of 2 rough games at the end of the season, but he played amazing tonight.
And Booz, you asked about his running mate, Jarkel Joyner, outscored Virginia Tech by themselves in the first half, 33 points combined in just the first half. How dangerous is this backcourt? Just actually, you know what? Let's clip that off for me in the beginning of this season. I've asked you that all year long because that's what we were talking about, that we had our eyes on them.
Yeah, we've been talking about it from the beginning of the season. They probably got the best backcourt in the country, definitely in the conference. They've been cooking up, and the way they started this tournament today, you got both of those guys. 50 points from your 2 backcourt mates. That's really impressive. Yep. I think that if they can keep it going like that, who knows how far they can go. I mean, this is going to be a dangerous team come March Madness and the NCAA tournament as well. They can beat anybody in the country when they play like this.
How far are they going, Luke?
50 points, 13 assists, 1 turnover. And I mentioned you got DJ Burns not having his best game, but you get him resting over there on that sideline, get him prepped and ready to go for Clemson. I just look at Jarkel Joyner, I look at Terquavion Smith, and I think, we've talked about it, the teams that get out here and get a rhythm, they play some of these early games. Those guys were in a rhythm, right, a different level, and they're not the type of guards to me that are going to wear down, right? Terquavion's going to keep on coming. Jarkel's the same way. Casey Morcell's the same way. So to me, this is a game that's going to fire them up. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. I know they have a great matchup against Clemson coming up, but that's one of the hottest teams, not in the ACC, but in the country.
Guys, they played tonight like they're on a mission. That was very impressive performance.
And when we talk about what they do offensively, but defensively they're really good too.
That's where I wanted to
active,
go.
Yeah.
Terquavion Smith said they switch 1 through 4. You get a switch, you think you have an advantage, you don't. And they have guys like Ernest Ross who can guard on the perimeter. Jack Clark can guard on the perimeter. They're so versatile in what they can do. And now I think that's what makes the difference for them. We know coming out they can score the ball with the best of the teams in the country. But when you talk about the difference going from a good team to a great team, it's being able to be solid defensively. And this team can do that with the best of them.
And especially right now when they said after the game that's something that they are continuing to focus on. And you saw that determination tonight, and you saw them filling it up as well. They're going to need to fill it up tomorrow and need to play some good defense about what lies ahead for them, which is Clemson. I mentioned that these 2 teams played twice already this season. Clemson won both of those games. One was on December 30th. One was just 2 games ago in the regular season, but that was a 96-71 win for them where they lost. So speaking of defense, Luke, let's talk about defense for Clemson and what we're going to see in this game, because one of the best in the conference.
Yes, it is. The best field goal percentage defense in the conference. Clemson is an incredibly well-rounded team. They've got the offense to go with it. 2nd in the league in field goal percentage, 2nd in the league in 3-point field goal percentage. But this is such a connected group, this Clemson team on the defensive end. You're going to see the versatility as well. They've got shot blockers. They've got guys who can slap down and get steals. They've got the physicality to battle. I mean, This dude Smith for Georgia Tech has lived on Skywalkers this year, one of the most athletic players in the league, and P.J. Hall comes over and erases that one. You see here Clemson in great position. P.J. Hall a little extended, and that's part of the scouting report. Darren Green Jr. is out there in no man's land, but he can shoot it from there. Look at the slap down. Look at how they are so connected, and when you see this cutter go through, I know Shiflin's head's turned a little bit, but that's okay. Hunter Tyson's got your back. He's in the paint. They're slapping down. They are a great defensive team when they are that connected, and they can clog the paint that way. And you see sometimes with teams like this, when you play great defense, it can fuel your offense. Virginia Tech, in my opinion, runs the best half-court sets in the ACC. You have to chase, you have to get through screens, and again, a connected Clemson group that starts to play great defense, and it fuels the offense. You get out on the fast break and run, and oh yeah, he's trying to make Skywalkers too. Finish that thing. Chase Hunter has to have a huge game. We talked about the backcourt with NC State a lot.
No, Clemson's very good defensively, so NC State's got to use this firepower they had tonight, build on it, bring it tomorrow, bottle it up. They're going to have to get DJ Burns more, and they're not going to double team as much
he had the
against
night
Clemson.
Off. You got to have energy,
So,
right?
big fella, get your wings, get your ribs, get your chicken salad, whatever you eat, because tomorrow it might be his night.
Yep.
And offensively, Clemson is really good. They have the inside-outside balance that I like from teams, where if the outside shot is not working for you, you have Hunter Tyson, you have P.J. Hall where you can get the ball down to them. And there are guys who can also make plays on the perimeter as well. You can give it to them on the delay action, and they come off the screens, and they're able to work with those guards. They just have a complete team, and they get after it defensively. And like I said with NC State, when you can play offense and you can play defense, that's what makes the difference.
This is going to be a big game, not just here for the ACC tournament, but also when you look ahead to the NCAA tournament heading into today. And before their game, Joe Lunardi has Clemson as the next four out. NC State, with their win, they have moved up one spot to 39 overall, so trying to get out of the last four in.